my name is Jaybird, and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. Yes, okay, good talk. Good talk. It just keeps getting better and better. Jaybird, I cannot do this. You are not trying hard enough. But I forgot the voice I gave her. What was the voice that I gave Hilda? Whatever. I'll figure it out. Whatever. It is almost as if you do not wish to complete your training. Ever since Mother came back, she has been teaching me to use my magic, but her methods are, well, I cannot bring myself to agree with the way she teaches. But this is a little bird no more. This bird is still alive! And my name is Jaybird, god damn it! Mom! Stop trying to get me to kill one of my own kind! I feel so dramatic. It's been trying to escape the dome it's been trapped under this whole time. Your bleeding heart will be the end of us all, Jaybird. Do you feel such turmoil every time you have a meal? Are you a vegetarian? Are you a vegan? Do I need to remind you how many animals are killed on a daily basis just for your meals? But this is different. Why can't Mother see that? All you are doing is removing the air in the dome. This is a lesson about control. How else are we to tell you when you are successful without such a barometer? What? Excuse me, what does that word mean? Mother raises her hand and without any apparent effort manipulates the air in the dome. Now you see how simple it is? I stare at the bird's lifeless body inside the dome. The sight of it brings back old memories. This happened before, and even then I was not able to save the bird's life. I still cannot save anything. And because you hesitated, another bird must be brought in. How many birds will it take, Jaybird? Stop trying to get me to kill my own kind, Mother! I need you to focus, dearest heart. We will continue tomorrow, and I expect you to perform as expected. Do you understand? What about I make a dome around you and take all the air out of that dome, huh? You won't be lecturing me then, huh? Will you? Will ya? No! So shut the fuck up. Jaybird. I nod my head numbly. Mother opens her arms and beckons me toward her. I reluctantly step toward her so that she can embrace me. There is no more warmth than your embrace. There is nothing. Mother strokes my hair. Before I found the gesture endearing and comforting, but now I feel cold. I do this because I love you, Jaybird. You understand, yes? The words I want to say are trapped in my throat. I can't. Mother pulls back a questioning look in her eyes. Say you love me, darling. Of course I love you. I do love her, but things are different now. I cannot deny who she is or what she can do. Mother says heavily before releasing me and turning around. Varg. The door opens and Varg steps inside immediately. He kneels before us. Your Majesty, take my daughter back to her room. As you command. Varg rises and bows before going to hold open the door for me. Princess. Good night, Mother. I curtsy and follow Varg out of the throne room. Ever since Fritz disappeared the day I woke up, he has not returned. The hope that he would return and that Varg would be destroyed is slowly disappearing. Every morning I wake and find Varg standing outside my door. I become more disheartened. I look at Varg's back as he walks in front of me. How am I supposed to bring Fritz back? Varg is only getting stronger each day. At this rate, Fritz will... Au devoir. Au devoir! Au devoir! You know that will not work on me anymore, Princess. Fritz used to come when I said that word, but I no longer see any signs that he hears me. Worried about your night? Let me tell you something that might lift your spirits then. He's not gone. What? He doesn't think he can afford to lose. He's not giving up control without a fight. Thought you might want to know. Why are you telling me this? You haven't been yourself the past few days. Why do you care? But why do you care? Oh, what? Excuse me, what's this for? Bark stops and turns to look at me. Yes, clearly. He is doing that, yes. I can see clearly now. The Varg is there, staring back at me with that weird look on his eyes and his weird facial expression, pierced ears. Keeps adding on to the song unnecessarily. Varg stops and turns to look at me. He's looking at me the same way Fritz always does, with gentle acceptance. I could almost believe I am looking at Fritz, not Varg. I've been asking myself the same question. I know these feelings for you aren't my own, and yet... Feelings for me? Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what the fuck was that? Excuse me, can you repeat yourself for a moment? I guess his emotions for you are too strong. It's rubbed off on me, and now I'm stuck hearing about you too. Okay. Ah! Why am I screaming about this? I think I need to calm myself down. I'm getting too excited. Getting too excited about this thing. My dog is barking outside of my door. And Clover, stop doing that! I'm in the middle of some very important business right now. I got a hot anime guy smiling at me, okay? God dang it. Give me a second. She's just gonna keep barking. Hey. Alright, now you're stuck in the hot anime guy, okay? Say hi to my dog. Say hi to audience. Get the microphone scratch. There you go. She says hi. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. My little fluff butt who's interrupting me with my hot anime guy. Varg's expression changes, a settled sadness creeping into his eyes. I don't see any sadness creeping into his eyes, but okay. Stupid. We both know who you'll choose when the time comes. What? Varg smiles, but it is devoid of any cheer. He turns around and continues walking without waiting for me. Hurry up, princess. The rest of our walk is silent. Stop it! Oh, now she wants out of my room, don't you? Do you want out? No? You want to lie down on the ground? Sleep on there, huh? Yeah? No? I put it down there for you. Oh, you okay. Sorry. I'm not in control of this dog. The night is deep. The night is deep, dark and gentle. I love it when my nights are deep, dark and gentle. But I cannot find peace or sleep in the all-consuming silence. It has been 2 weeks since Mother's return, and 2 weeks since I've been able to sleep through the night. Most of my days are spent at Mother's side. When we aren't patrolling and she's teaching me how to use the Tenamburum, readying me as her successor. Every day it only becomes clearer to me that the kingdom is suffering. Are you on my bed? Hey! Get down! Get down from there. Lay down. Lay down. Put this on the Every day it only becomes clearer to me that the kingdom is suffering. The people fear and hate us. It is even worse than it was before. Mother is cruel to everyone, even though I have yet to see them do anything wrong. Is this why Father hated her? Your Highness! I beg your forgiveness. My child was not watching where he was going. The man's son had wandered out in front of us. The soldiers' horses would have crushed the child if the man hadn't pushed him out of the way. The stop on the road has caused a delay in our arrival back to the palace. Mother has been out visiting an old friend, a witch. Mother? There's a blinding flash of light as Mother draws a shape in the air. When the light clears, the man has disappeared from in front of us. He has collapsed against the wall of a nearby building. Mother threw him into the building? Let us continue. But Mother, that man isn't moving. I do not think he's breathing. Come along, Jaybird. Mother, why would you do that? The man, he... Are you questioning me, Jaybird? Mother's gaze is cold as steel, her eyes as sharp as a blade. I flinch away from her. You have become soft. The world has changed you while I was sleeping. Do not worry, dearest heart. I will bring you back to what you were. I promise. Mother smiled at me then, the same smile she would always give me when I was a child. I used to be comforted by the sight of it, but now it terrifies me. And the king. I choked down the lump in my throat. He is gone. He speaks, he eats, but he is not here. If it were not clear in his actions, it is clear when I look into his eyes. He is right there, and yet I miss him. The frustration makes me restless. I stand up so that I can make my way toward the window and stare outside. I am being ridiculous. Why should I miss him when he has been nothing but neglectful? I have forgotten how he stopped caring about me when he invited his new family into the palace. He treasured them and his kingdom more than he ever loved me. He never valued me, and yet I would give anything to go back to how things had been. The weight on my shoulders and in my heart is overwhelming. The feeling only worsens when I turn my thoughts to another person. Fritz. With a sigh, I lean my forehead against the cold glass of the window. Vark said that Fritz is still fighting, so he must still be in there. How can I help him? Fritz? Who? Before I can turn, someone clamps a hand over my mouth. The rest of my words are muffled. Long time no see. Is it Delora? Long time no see. That voice. Oh, it's Jiren instead. Okay, never mind. It wasn't Delora. It was... Ignore that, okay? Ignore me doing Delora's sexy voice, okay? Jiren? That's right. Remain calm, princess. She slowly lowers her hand. I turn around and stare, surprised to see her here in my room. What are you doing here? She smiles and some of the weight in my heart lifts. We're on a rescue mission. We're on a fucking rescue mission. Rescue mission. Fuck. I'm terrible at speaking. At that moment, a man sidesteps into the doorway, his footsteps cautious and soft. How do you make your footsteps cautious and soft? Or just soft? Garland? He does not turn completely, but cranes his neck to give me a soft smile. Glad to see you're safe, princess. Get comfortable. I put the thing down on this for you. She's like moving around, and staring at me in my eyes. Hi, Clover. You're cute. You're comfortable. Yeah. Good girl. This dog is so adorable. I can barely... If only you guys could see her. Well, I do have a few videos of her on my channel, so, you know. I can barely believe that the two of them were standing here. It has been so long. We apologize for being late. We have been trying to get into the palace for the last few months, but a powerful shield has been keeping us from entering. Lady Parfait could easily destroy it, but it would have meant destroying the palace as well. The last thing we want is to cause panic among the people. Mithros and Varg are crafty. They've been watching over the palace like hawks, and it was difficult to speak with Prince Rod when he was being watched around the clock. We needed more time to make sure our rescue mission would not fail. Then how did you find a way inside? Lady Parfait managed to find a weak spot in the shield, but it's thin, and only allows a few people into the palace one at a time. Garland and I know this place better than anyone. That's why we're here to rescue you. Delore and Parfait wanted to come, but the shield easily detects witches and fairies. But they're waiting for us at the Marching Princess. Was I meant to escape with Rod and Emmeline before? Yes, that was the only other plan we had, though it didn't go as expected when someone caught whiff of their plans and sent Varga to kill them. So they tried to save me before and failed. Why did you come for me? You're not supposed to be here? Why did you come for me? They look at me, their expressions baffled. What? I cross my arms as I look at them. Why would you rescue someone you hate? Princess. Of course we'd come for you. You were part of the marching after all. What? Jordan looks at me seriously. Let's go. Jordan heads toward the door, but stops when she notices that I'm not following her. Coming, Princess? How can the Marchand take me back after everything I've said and done? How could the Marchand accept me back? Do they even want me to return? I only realized I had spoken aloud when Jordan answers me. Princess, we wouldn't be here if that wasn't the case. We have to leave now. We're running out of time. I can think about this later. I nod and follow them out of my room. Jordan leads the way and I follow after her. Garland brings up the rear, his eyes alert as he constantly surveys her surroundings. The night around us is cold and still, but the quiet only makes me more anxious. Varg usually appears in situations like this. Is he not here? And I feel so useless having to be rescued like this. Garland reaches out to place a hand on my shoulder. We're almost out. I nod, not trusting my own voice. Shh. Garland stands at attention as we continue slowly moving forward. Eventually, a figure moves to block our path. And what is this? Is this Varg or Mithros? Or... I cannot move. Jordan and Garland, however, already have their swords out. The deadly metal. That sounds like a band like a heavy metal band name. The deadly. Hey guys, we're at the deadly metal. Glitters in the gray glow of the moon. Where's Mithros? And here I thought the fairy had given up. Mithros. Her voice is a low growl. It is so full of malice it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. Let us pass. And what if I did? Where would you be taking the princess? Jordan's shoulders tense. Garland glares at Mithras from behind her. I could lie, but it would be easier to just kill you. Wait. But it would also be easier to just kill you. Okay. You're as bloodthirsty as ever. But unfortunately, I cannot allow your mischief to continue. Sir Mithros has just begun to raise his hand when Jordan darts forward, her sword gleaming as she raises it to slice at his arm. Sir Mithros howls, falling hard to the ground as he curls in on himself to cradle his injury. Go, quickly! The remaining quiet is all but shattered as we run away from Mithros. Though he is in pain, I can still hear his voice call out from behind us. Do not think this will be so easy, princess. I ignore him and keep running, not daring to look back. We've been running for a while now. Our legs are beginning to go numb. Only a little longer, princess, we'll be out. You're doing well. I can do no more than nod as I force myself to keep running. I am pathetic. I am slowing them down so much. There, I can see the exit. Watch out! Jordan falls back to evade the explosion and bumps into me in the process. Moments later, however, she is once again standing at the ready with her sword. Garland sets his hands firmly on my shoulders to help me regain my balance. What was that? A familiar face emerges from the smoke, her expression cold. Mother? Ah, it is Mother. Jaybird. Mother. I didn't want to believe Mithros, but here you are. Princess, get back. Mother turns to face Jordan and Garland, her expression full of contempt. I remember you, Durin Valiant, or Valiente, and you as well, Garland Belrot. I thought I was rid of Alcaster's pests. We do not work for Sir Alcaster. No, you and your pet have changed allegiances, haven't you? What? What did you call him? The smile on Mother's face is bright and cruel. It sends chills trailing down my spine. Is that not what he is? Mother casually waves a hand at Garland, who remains quiet. He follows you around like a lost puppy. He is so desperate for a scrap of affection that he would do anything for you, regardless of his own pride. It is admirable how well he knows his commands. Stop it. Come, Garland. Sit, Garland. Good boy, Garland. Good boy. Yes, quite. Shut up! Durin, don't! But his words come too late. Durin rushes forward, her body nothing but a blur, her teeth bared in savage hatred. Ooh! Durin is fast, but Mother is faster. She rages. She raises her hand and sends Durin back with a terrible flash of light as Garland catches her. And you defend his honor as if he were some poor maiden. How pathetic. Garland's voice is soft as he steadies Durin. Durin, please. She's just trying to get a rise out of you. I know that! Durin throws his hands off, a murderous look in her eyes as she glares at Mother. Mother remains in the same place, smiling that terrible smile of hers. She's amused by this, nothing more. Get the princess out of here, Garland. What are you saying? I am not leaving you here. Once she's safe, come back for me. Durin finally turns to look at him, a soft smile on her face. Trust me, lamb. There's a long moment of silence as the two gaze at each other. Unspoken words pass between them, and eventually Garland leaves. Garland caves. He just leaves. He just leaves without me. You know, whatever. Alright. Both of them tighten their grips on the swords. Are you done? Mother hasn't moved, but her presence in the small tunnel is overwhelming. Her magic smothers the very air. Durin sinks into a stance, her body loose and poised, seemingly unperturbed. Ready when you are. Mother does not attack. Instead, she turns to face me with one graceful movement. Jaybird, stop this nonsense. This is not the time for games. Be a good girl and go back to your room. Stand your ground and reason with her. I'm gonna stand my ground. Dearest one? I stand resolute and take strength from Garland's steady presence behind me. What Mother is doing is wrong. What she wants isn't right and has never been right. What she's done to the king, what she's done to Angeli. How am I meant to look at her the same way? My voice is quiet when I finally speak. No. What? I take a deep breath and look her in the eyes. No, I will not return to my room. Mother's expression is unexpectedly calm as she looks at me. My own daughter would choose these traitors and liars over me? Is my love so inconsequential to you? Has she ever truly loved me? Mother, if your love is what love is meant to be, I do not want it. Mother is not who I thought she was. When I look at her now, all I can see is what she truly is. Evil. Evil! Insert mermaid man here. Rest in peace, mermaid man. You will be missed. Clearly you have become corrupted during my absence. I suppose it must be the work of the infernal fairies. Never mind. Once I have destroyed each and every one of them, you will return to me, my daughter. She raises her hand and light curls around her fingers, but before she can cast her spell, Durin is at my mother's side. Durin's sword glints as it slices through air and then through Mother's clothes. Go! Princess, come on! But Durin, if we leave her alone... Garland pulls me away from my mother, and during as the battle begins, I hear the dull clatter of metal as we run, and can see the flashes of light even as we escape back the way we came. Garland. We have not gotten far when I force Garland to a stop. Garland! It is only when I grab his shoulder that he stops and turns to look at me. Princess? We cannot leave here. We cannot leave her there. Maybe I can convince Mother to let her go. You really think you can convince that witch? I can try. My job is to keep you safe. Mother has all the power of the crystal and tenebrium at her disposal. I force myself to say it. Durin will not last long. Garland, you have to know this too. Durin must know as well. Garland's jaw hardens as he stares at me, not truly looking at me, but through me. Garland, please. We cannot let Durin die. Not when we might be able to do something about it. Garland stares at the ground, his expression conflicted. I know he cares for her, and that is why he must go back for her. Garland closes his eyes briefly. When he opens them, I know he has made his decision. Let me just go back. When we return, the scene is very different. Blood spatters the tunnel walls, and Durin is on her knees, bent forward, her face away from us. My mother is nowhere to be seen. Durin! Garland is suddenly in front of me, mindlessly racing toward Durin. Durin! All at once, she seems to come alive. She gasps out for breath and coughs. Garland, what are you doing here? I told you to. Her voice wavers as Garland crashes down in front of her. He folds himself around her and pulls her gently to his chest. His eyes are shut tight as he buries his face in her hair. Durin chokes back a sob as she reaches up to hold him tightly. I exhale in relief. Both of them are alive and safe. You idiot! I told you to get her out! The princess gave me permission to disobey an order. He lifts his head to smile back at me. She outranks you, Durin, at least as far as titles are concerned. Garland slowly guides her to her feet. What happened? Uh-oh. She gets out. Ah! Stop barking! No! Okay, that was fun. Anyways. What happened? The queen disappeared and Durin suddenly stops. We hear it at the same time, a terrible ripping sound, like the air itself is being torn. I see the slither of shadows and unnatural light in the darkness, and suddenly I realize what is happening. My panicking mind is only able to process everything that happens in slow motion. Mother appears behind Durin, poised to strike. I see the horror in Garland's eyes, then acceptance and determination. I try to cry out a warning, anything, but I can barely breathe. Garland pushes Durin toward me and out of the way as he rushes my mother. Oh no. At the same time, Garland pushes forward and Mother holds out her hand. It only takes a single heartbeat for her to plunge it into Garland's chest. Garland! What a loyal pet, giving your life for hers. Garland's face crumples in on itself. Even from where I am, I can hear Mother twist her hand inside him. And how sad. Mother wrenches her bloodied hand out and Garland falls to the ground. You fool. You didn't even tell her that you loved her. You! Durin runs at my mother, a desperate cry of grief and rage escaping from her. Durin, no! She's too weak from her own injuries. She can barely hold up her sword. I am unable to speak or move as Durin rushes toward her own death. But Mother simply sidesteps, her expression disinterested as Durin falls to her knees. I was kind enough to kill him slowly for you, so you could say your goodbyes. Mother turns to face me. The blood drips from her hand down to her dress, where it congeals and oozes like black tar. Do you understand now, dearest one? This is what you have made me do. This is what I must do now to all those who have corrupted you. You were the one who forced my hand. Do not forget that. For a moment, the air in the tunnel disappears and a terrible silence fills the darkness. By the time the air comes rushing back into my starved lungs, Mother is gone. The tunnel is empty, lights flicker in the aftermath of her disappearance. The only thing I can hear apart from the rushing of blood in my ears is Durin's sobs. I'm Garland, no! I make my way slowly toward her. It is like wading slowly through murky water. Jern is leaning over Garland and has his head on her lap. He is still breathing. Her fae can help him. When I crouch down, I can see the open wound Mother left behind. I swallow down the bile that races my throat, along with any of my words of comfort. Magic cannot fix this. Garland, please. I get down on my knees beside Jern. This is my fault. Don't cry. Garland! He smiles at her. It is a genuine smile that breaks my heart. Jern shakes her head. No, Garland, you can't. Jern, I love. His voice trails off as he closes his eyes, his breathing becoming more labored. He gasps one last time before his body stills completely. Garland! I bite down on my tongue and bow my head as Jern howls her loss into the silence of the blood-soaked tunnel. We spend some time with Garland in the tunnel. Jern shakes with silent sobs as she grips his still body. But eventually, Jern gently removes Garland from her lap as she stands up. She takes his sword as she presses her hand to his face one last time. Then she turns and walks away from Garland's body with his sword clutched tightly in one hand. She grips her sword in the other. It takes all that I have to keep up with her. Jern, this is all my... Not now. Her voice is quiet and all the more disturbing for it. This is all my fault. Jaybird! Jern! Waltz? What is he doing here? Waltz comes running up to us, his eyebrows creased with worry. I've been waiting so long, I was about to... He flashes his eyes flickering to the swords in Jern's hands. Why do you have Garland's sword? Waltz's face pales. Where is he? Gone. What? Garland is gone. Her hands tighten on the swords as she rolls. For a few moments, her shoulders clutch, but then she turns away abruptly and continues walking. Let's go. Waltz turns to me. They said it was going to be a simple in and out, so I let them go alone. What happened in there? What do I say? It was my fault. I'm gonna say it's my... It is my fault. This is what I have to say. Princess, I'm sure that's not true. I glare at Waltz as tears well in my eyes. It was my fault. Waltz falls silent as he studies my face. Then he says before taking my hand, we'll sort this out at the march-in. Come on. As soon as the marching doors close behind us, Jern collapses. Jern! Luckily, I'm close enough to catch one of her arms and Waltz is fast enough to catch the other. Move her to the chair. Together we manage to guide Jern to the chair. We set her down on it as gently as we can. I watch as she unfolds on the chair, and that is when I see the dark red slashes and tears in her clothing. Some of her wounds are open and visibly bleeding. She's still bleeding! Waltz pulls a cloth from his back pocket and hands it to me. Clean what you can. I'll get Lady Parfait and Rumple. He runs off, leaving me alone with Jern. It looks like she's bleeding everywhere. I steel myself and kneel by her side. Gently I reach out and begin to wipe at the worst of what I can see. Jern moans and I flinch in sympathy. I'm sorry. I feel a lump rise in my throat. I convinced Garland to go back. If I hadn't, he wouldn't have. Jern shifts slightly to her to put her hand on my cheek. Her touch is cool and gentle. Jern. There's softness in her gaze and an inexplicable kindness in the touch of her hand. After a moment, Jern slowly nods and her eyes fall closed on a sigh. Wait, is she okay? Jern? Jern! Waltz! She just closed her eyes. She's not speaking. She's not going to die too, is she? Not if I have anything to say about it. Excuse me, Princess. Rumple gently pushes me aside and I let him, hovering over his shoulder as he crouches to inspect Jern. Well? Princess. Waltz steps beside me and gently places his hand on my arm. What? Rumple needs to work his magic now. And? So, why don't we get you something to drink? I'm not going to leave her. Princess, please. to let Rumple work. I look back over my shoulder, watching how carefully Rumple attends to Jern. Okay. Waltz's hand acts as my lifeline as he helps me into the tavern area. My legs become weaker with every step. Hi, stranger. Delora. I only realize that I'm running to her after I barrel into her. I bury my face in her shoulder as I suppress a sob. Delora's arms come around me, holding me tight as whatever calm facade I was holding up becomes apart at the seams. Waltz, would you please get those mugs? Of course. Delora leads me to one of the benches, one of her arms still around me so she can rub my back. Somehow the simple gesture is helping me calm down. Jaybird, are you hurt? I shake my head. Thank goodness for that. Stay in her embrace until Waltz returns to place something on the table. How are we doing? I pull away reluctantly to rub out my eyes. I'm okay. The Lord takes a mug and places it in my hand. Good. Now drink. I do not question and raise the mug to my mouth. Hot chocolate. Delora made this for me. Delora made this for me before. I take a few deep swallows of the hot, sweet liquid. Better? Yes. Jaybird, can you tell me what happened? Mother found us in the tunnels. What? Okay. I don't know, okay? I didn't do anything, but okay. Mother found us in the tunnels. Mother found us in the tunnels, blah, 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 blah. Jern told Garland to get me out. My throat threatens to close, but I force the words out. Mother is so strong. I thought Jern might not survive. So I convinced Garland to go back, and that's when I stare down at my mug, my hands trembling. It's my fault. It's all my fault. If I hadn't convinced Garland to go back, Mother wouldn't have killed him. The silence in the tavern is deafening. Finish your hot chocolate, Jaybird. I obey without a word. Everyone is going to be so angry with me. It's my fault Garland is dead, and it's my fault Jern is injured. Have you heard about your stepfamily? I know they're gone. Are they dead as well because of me? Hey, don't look like that. I'll have you know that I had to use a sleeping spell on Prince Rod and Princess Emmeline earlier. They heard about what Jern and Garland were going to do tonight. I don't think I would have been able to stop them from coming along on their rescue mission otherwise. What? You got them out, Princess. Varg would have killed them if you hadn't stepped in. The Queen was already waiting at the end of the tunnel on the day the Prince and Princess escaped. Alcaster must have somehow gotten wind of the escape plan, which was why he had Varg tried to eliminate them then and there. Security tightened more after that day. Oh, thank goodness. And we've been worrying about you ever since you left. Well, ever since you stormed out all those months ago. Delora's smile is sad as she reaches up to push my hair out of my face. None of this was your fault, Jaybird. If anything, it was mine. Mine and Parfait's for letting this happen. We tried to help you escape, but we couldn't break the shield around the palace in fear of putting everyone inside in danger. That is why we had to wait. We never thought we'd have to worry about Hilda being revived. And though we would have liked to save you outside of the palace. That's right. I was out of the palace more than a couple of times, once with Varg and another with Mother. We couldn't put the lives of others in danger when Hilda was right there. She would have killed the citizens. Even if I'd wanted to escape the day I was with Varg, he wouldn't have let me. I grip my now empty mug. Princess, I understand how you feel, and I know it's difficult, but frankly, we have bigger fish to fry. I think you realize now what kind of person Hilda is. I do. Then you know what we have to do. I know too well what it is we must do. In fact, I knew this was bound to happen sooner or later. I studied this. I do not know if I can fix everything, and I do not know if I can save anything. But no matter how long it might take, I must make things right. I finally look up at Delora and nod. We have to stop Mother. Hell yeah! Hell yeah, I like that. Chapter 9, Rebellion. Ooh! Well, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!